Hello, everyone, and happy, I guess, early New Year. We are already past Christmas, so I hope everyone had an enjoyable holiday, even if you didn't get all the gifts you wanted or spend time with the people you want to spend time with. We just have to still be grateful and thankful that we are still here because this year flew by and many people didn't get to experience Christmas in 2024. So all I can say is, you know what? We got to keep it moving. And I know we haven't had too many episodes recently of public speaking in business, but we're going to get back at it. I think this will be our last episode for this year. We started in July and have been going strong since. So I'm just really happy to be here today. I'm looking forward to the new year. I'm looking forward to what can happen, things and dreams and ambitions, whatever we want to go for. We should definitely get ready to do it in this new year. And I am just excited about the possibilities of, what a new year brings. And so, as always, the Model Speakers Academy is here for you to help you share your voice. Maybe you want to share your voice in the new year. Maybe you are ready to speak and talk about your business, or maybe you want to get a promotion on your job. Maybe you want to be a better communicator in your family, for your friends, community, whatever the case is, the Model Speakers Academy can help you. And so I'm going to be opening enrollment in the month of January, starting to do some webinars so individuals can find out about what does the Model Speakers webinar entail. People think, do I have to be a model to be a part of it? No, our model stands for motivate, organize, deliver, engage, and lead. So anybody can model and anybody can share their voice. And so that's what we help you do. Also, we have the Bali International Retreat coming up in October 2025. So if you have not signed up yet, you need to sign up. So this is a 3-day speakers retreat and a 7-day tour Bali. So even if you're not a speaker, you can still go on this retreat. So get ready to sign up, pay your deposit, $500 down, and then you can make your payments how you need to. And as long as you pay by August, you're good to go. So that's coming up. And also for the month of January, actually on 25th, the first Saturday in January, the Model Speakers Retreat will have a vision brunch, but you will get a planner as a part of the brunch. So instead of cutting out pictures like people normally do for those vision boards, we're going to write it down, make the vision plain in our planners so that we can start 2025 on the highest note possible because we're thriving in 25. We're not going to just be surviving, we're going to be thriving and we're winning. I want us to win in whatever area that be relationship, personally, financially, spiritually, socially, mentally. We need to be winning in 2025. So that's enough of the announcements. I'm so happy to have Courtney Smith here. She is an entrepreneur, a huge success beauty brand in Atlanta, Georgia. So, Courtney, I'm going to welcome you. Thanks for joining me and introduce us. Tell us about your brand.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. So, as she said, my name is Courtney Smith, and I am the founder and CEO of Christina's Curls. We are an organic hair care and skincare line for children.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, the name is very unique. Please tell
Mhm.
me who is, you said Christina's Curls?
Yes. So, Christina is my youngest daughter.
Okay.
Um, she's about 4, almost 5 years old. Almost 5. So I came up with the name because when Christina was born, she had a skin condition, eczema, which a
Mhm.
lot of people struggle with, but hers was pretty severe.
Mhm.
She had eczema really bad and also cradle cap.
Mhm.
And I had taken her to a few doctors, well, actually 2 doctors, 2 dermatologists. Um, the first doctor was like, "Oh, this is normal." I'm like, I have 2 other kids. I've never experienced this. This does not seem normal to me."
Right.
So then I took her to a dermatologist and they gave her an ointment. And I'm like, okay, let's see what this about. But me being an esthetician, I always fact checked. I'm always looking at the ingredients and I researched those ingredients and I was like, who is putting this on their newborn baby?
Wow.
Who is putting this on them? So one day when I was talking to my husband, he was like, why don't you just make her something? Like, this is your area, this is your field, because I didn't state this earlier, but I'm a licensed esthetician
Mhm.
with the certification in formulation. So that's been my background for the last 8 or 9 years.
Wow.
And yeah, my husband, he was the one that came up with the brilliant idea. I have to give him his credit for that. He reminds me on a daily
Yeah.
basis that it was his idea. And I started making her products, posting it online, and the rest is history.
Wow. Well, congratulations. And
Thank you.
I think it's always, so unique when we are posed with situations in our life
Yes.
and we can either fold down or, be in despair, or we can allow those situations to birth something in us. And so your own personal experience with your daughter, caused you to create a whole beauty line of hair
Right.
care and, for children. So I think that's amazing, because a lot of products, even for the adults, have too many chemicals in it. So,
It's
um,
crazy. It's crazy. And like I said, with me being an esthetician and I'm also a leukemia survivor, I'm
okay,
very cautious and very conscious of what I put on my body and in my body.
right.
Because it anything can trigger it. Anything can trigger an outbreak. Anything can, trigger cancer or whatever it may be. So you just have to really be, and it's so many people selling so many things these
Mhm,
days to
mhm.
where you have to um, do your research.
Yeah,
That's
you really do. Wow, well, that's so good. So let's just go ahead and get right into it. What inspired you to start speaking about your business journey?
I get that question a lot. And it's so crazy because when I first started Christina's Curls, I had no desire to speak. I had no desire to really even share my story. I would, tell as to why I started Christina's Curls, but I didn't really see myself as a speaker. And again, it was someone close to me who said, I see you on stages and I see you telling other women about your story and really empowering them. And it took me about a year and a half to 2 years to really see that for myself.
Oh,
But as I spent more time in the industry, I noticed a lot of people who would gatekeep,
mm,
did not really want to, give you the blueprint or didn't want to share resources with you as if they were going to lose something by sharing resources. I had one particular situation where it was a guy, he wasn't even in my field,
mm,
and but I saw his marketing was great. So I'm like, completely different field. I think he sold like teas or something.
mhm.
And I was like, "Oh, who did your marketing? Who does your marketing and your branding?" Do you know he did not want to tell me? You
Wow.
would have thought he was starting or had a children's hair care line the way he
Oh my
was
goodness.
gatekeeping the information. And I said, "I don't want that. I don't like that." Because I truly believe it's enough for everyone.
Yes.
It's enough money for everyone. It's enough customers for everyone. It's enough even if your field seems saturated,
Mhm,
you just carve out your niche. You
mhm.
focus on what you bring to the table. And I always say, keep your eyes on your own paper. That's what I tell my kids um,
Right.
daily. So as I spent more time in this industry and I started learning more about marketing and branding and just wellness and hair care and skincare, I wanted to share it. I
Mhm,
wanted to share my knowledge, even if it wasn't specific to hair care and skincare, just on um, being a brand, a personal brand, as well as building a brand. I wanted to be that for other women.
mhm.
Like I can go to her, I can hear her speak, and she's going to give me the blueprint without feeling intimidated by what my potential could be. So
Right.
that's what inspired me. Yes.
Wow. Well, I'm glad you shared that. And, we're transparent because I do believe there's room for everyone at the table and we should do more collaborating instead of competing. And so it's unfortunate that people, I guess it's unfortunate and fortunate, people can see more in us than we see in ourselves sometimes,
Yes.
because like you said, it took you a while to want to come over here. But, we have to be careful with that because they see it, they want to stop it. A lot of times they want to stop your shine. And, like how you said, even if the market is saturated, I always think about the grocery store. When we go in a grocery
I was
store,
about to say that you go, I mean, and I think of that every time I'm in the grocery store. I'm looking at the bread and I'm like, okay, now what's the deal? And it's
20 companies at least of different breads, so
We're
if
not worried about the next bread company. They are
right,
focused on their branding, their marketing, where they're placed on the shelves,
that's
their
right.
advertising. They are not
Yeah.
worried about the competition. Other
Mhm.
than Johnson and Johnson, I probably can't even tell you who my competitors are because I just don't focus on it.
Yeah, you
I just
can.
don't.
Yeah, you could continue to put out your product, and
Yeah.
there's a market, for who
I
wants
go
what
to
you
my
have to do.
customers. Now that's who I focus on. I'm like, okay, I have these three collections. What is the next product that you would like for me to come out with? That's who I go to,
Right. And
you know.
that's who needs to, be the ones you focus on. So you're completely right. Yeah. So my next question is, why do you believe public speaking is a critical skill for business professionals today?
Oh, it's a critical skill and very important because people buy from people they can relate to.
Mhm.
And my story is as far as Christina and eczema, millions of mothers and people in general that's dealing with that. So I think when you allow yourself to speak on whatever your journey may be, you're opening yourself up to be, what's the word? Relatable. That's
Yes.
it. Relatable to the average person because we are. I'm a mom. I'm a mom and a wife first and foremost. So yes, it's very important to get in front of the audience, to speak, to be relatable,
Mhm.
and to also receive that feedback from them on how to better serve better serve your customers and your community.
Yes, that's so true. And we have to be willing to share our voices about whatever it is. Like we're our number one spokesperson. So
Yeah.
if you have a product or a brand, like you said, people want to buy from people they trust, they relate
Yes.
to. And the best way to do that is for them to see your face, hear your
Right.
voice, and know that this is an actual person that I'm working with and not
Right.
just a website. So, and the fact
Yeah.
that you shared a personal story that your daughter, was affected by eczema and you were able to help her, and now you can help others. And so a lot of times people want to know, how close are you to this? What's your testimony? What's your situation? What's your tie or what's your why for doing
What's
it?
your why? Yeah.
Because that's going to encourage them and they're more willing to support because they're like, hey, Courtney can relate to me. I
Mhm.
have a daughter, I have a niece or nephew, or whatever the case is. I have somebody and it touches close to home. So it definitely makes it relatable.
It
So
does.
that's kudos. So my next question is, can you share a personal experience where public speaking significantly impacted your brand, business?
So impacted it in a good way or a
Yeah.
bad way? Okay.
Yeah.
So, yes, I don't know if it's necessarily well, I guess it is considered public speaking. I was on the Portia Fox 5
Okay.
show, and this was about a year ago, like November, and it was my first television show, like
Okay.
televised show. I was so nervous. I was so nervous, but I knew that this was the direction that God was calling me, and so I just did it, even though I was scared. And that opportunity opened up so many more opportunities. I mean, the speaking engagements just started to come in, the
Mm.
magazine covers. I think I've done 3 covers as of now, from that show, numerous magazine, articles. So public speaking, getting out in front, telling your story, it opens doors because you don't know who's going to see you.
Right.
Your network is your net worth.
Yeah.
Networking is key, key, key,
Yeah.
key. So yeah, that was the beginning for me. It was November of last year that I was like, okay, God, I'm going all in with this.
Yes.
And he has ordered my steps and my path, and I'm grateful.
Well, that's amazing. And I love how you mentioned that you were nervous. You didn't necessarily feel like, oh, I'm ready to do this, but you still did it. And I think
He
a lot of
still
times
did
people,
it.
yeah, they're waiting on a feeling. They're waiting to
Oh,
feel
yeah.
ready. They're waiting to feel comfortable. And it's like, you may never get that feeling. So you have to sometimes do it afraid, do it
Yeah,
feeling like, hey, I have a little imposter syndrome or I don't have it all together.
that's
It's
exactly what
okay.
it is, imposter
We're
syndrome,
all
'cause you're
right.
like, "Me? Little old
Mhm.
me?"
Right.
Um, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we're
You're
our own worst critic, so we have to just go ahead and do it, and even if you make a mistake, it's not the end of the world.
right.
Sometimes, we make a mistake and we spend so much time being fixated on a mistake, and it's like, "Look, it's happened, you can't change it, just go
Yeah.
ahead and move on." So people don't necessarily want perfection, they want a human, they want somebody relatable.
That's the thing. They don't even that reminds me of, like, when I first started, I was like, "Oh, my labels, they just have to be perfect," and,
Mhm,
you know,
mhm.
the customers did not care about that, okay? They're like, "Can you get me my products within 2 to 3 days?" You
Right.
know? Or, "Is the product gonna work?" That's what they care about, but yeah,
Mhm. Yeah, they're
I'm
worried about what's inside the bottle, not
yeah,
necessarily on the outside, and so, yeah. So we have to give ourselves some grace and not be
right,
so critical because sometimes we're trying to be perfect, and then that delays us, and we never
right,
get started, or it never happens because we're waiting on everything to be every dot I to be dotted, every T to be crossed, and it's like, look, you just kinda gotta go ahead and get moving, and then you can always start over. Like, look at the
right.
iPhone. This is, the 16th,
No.
17th edition, so they keep coming out with a better version. So guess
Yep,
what? Get your product out there, get your voice out there, get your speech, your business, whatever is out there, and you can always do some changes. You can always reinvent yourself. It's
I
okay.
think the first time is the hardest. Now, you could put me on a TV show right now, and I'm like, "Oh, I got this."
Right, right.
But
Exactly.
that first time is the hardest, yes.
Right. So we got to get our reps in. So you got to get past that beginning stage, that first stage, and make it happen, because none of us comes out perfect. Even Beyonce, she had her first performance and look at her growth and look at where she is now. But
Yeah,
she kept going. I'm sure she got nervous and she probably still gets nervous, but she doesn't let it stop her. So we have to
right,
take those cues from everybody else out there who's getting it done and realize we can do it as well. So
absolutely.
exactly. So my next question is, what are some common public speaking challenges that many business professionals or owners face, and how do you think they can overcome them?
Some challenges. I probably would say getting the events out to the public,
Okay.
you know? Of course, we have social media,
Mhm.
but I think really just getting your event out to the public and winning them over, to want to come and hear what you're speaking on, when you're initially starting out. I would say that probably just marketing. Maybe that's the correct term for it. Is marketing yourself,
Yeah.
knowing who to hire as your manager or your
Mhm.
PR. That
Mhm.
takes some trial and error. I went through that as well. So I think that would be the biggest thing is just marketing yourself.
Gotcha. Yeah. And you're right. It's hard to find somebody who sees your vision, can share your vision and execute it. And then
Yeah,
also finding your right target audience
your
because,
target audience,
yeah,
absolutely. Yeah,
yeah, because
that would
many
that would be
people,
the hardest part of
mhm,
it. But
right.
once you have your circle, once you have your tribe, your people, took me
Mhm.
about a year and a half to build my circle, my manager, my PR,
Mhm.
makeup artist, all of that stuff. Um, Once you have them, you have them.
Right.
So, but it takes a minute. You
Mhm.
have to try it out.
Yeah, it makes me think of, like, I need to hire a virtual assistant. I haven't done that, but that's one of my goals for 2025. But, I don't wanna go through the hiring process, but certain things we just gotta do. We
You
gotta
have
go
to.
through,
There's no
you
way
know
around it.
yeah, we
There's
don't
no
like
way
it,
around
and
it.
I don't wanna have to fire people, but that's a part of the process too, hiring and firing, and they say you should be, slow to hire and quick to fire.
Yeah,
I think a lot
and
of
that
times
is true, okay?
yeah,
That is true.
we,
That's true.
we have to, vet people, make sure, and then be,
It is
things
so
that,
hard because
yeah,
everybody shows up as their best self
that's
at
right.
the interview. Everybody has their representation on front line, but
Absolutely. But the
it's
truth will
the
come out.
days, you're like, "Oh, okay, I see."
Yeah, and when we see it, we gotta be willing to let it go
Yep.
because I know I have a soft heart, and this can go in many places, not just for business, it can go in relationships and just in things in general. I have a soft heart. And so you want to give people the benefit of the doubt, but sometimes you gotta, see the fruit. Like you'll know a tree by
Yes,
its fruit. So if I
absolutely.
see you're supposed to be an apple tree and you're giving me oranges,
Yep. That's in the Bible. That's the
right.
truth.
We gotta get rid of you. So that's just what it is. But that was a very good one. And so the last question I have is what is one essential tip that you would give to someone looking to improve their public speaking skills?
Hmm. One tip that I would give. Find your key points that you want to speak on. I think I said this before as far as finding like your niche area that you want to speak on. Find that, master it, know it front and back, and be skilled in that area to guide and mentor individuals. So I would say find your lane, find your area of
Right. And that's
expertise. Yes.
Yeah, that's so true because a lot of times people want to do what others are doing. And just
Yes.
because somebody else is successful in that area does that mean that you're going to be successful in that area. So you have to be true to yourself. And like you said, find your lane and what you're comfortable in because people can tell if it's authentic or not.
Right. Yes, they can. They can. And you will feel better sharing it when it's authentic. I can talk all day about skincare, hair care, all of that. Now, do I dibble and dabble with my branding and my marketing? Yes, but please don't ask me too many questions about that because that's not my area. But the
Mhm.
the skincare, the hair care, how to grow a business, how to scale, that we can talk all day about that.
Right, that's awesome. And like you said, once you're comfortable and that that's your thing, then it's not hard.
It's
You're able
natural.
to share. It's natural. It flows. And so we have to do some inventory sometimes. If this is uncomfortable, if this is not, getting me the results, don't be afraid to pivot. Don't be afraid to
Right.
figure out what works for you. And sometimes an idea is a good idea, but it might not be profitable. Sometimes it
Right.
may not be what you want it to
Yep.
be. And so we
Yes.
have to, do a hard look at things. But the key thing is we got to be willing to, get help. And like I love how you said you took a little bit to get you a team together because
Yeah.
we can't do it all. We're not experts in everything. So
No.
get your team, get who can help you so that you can be your best self and put out your best product.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, I thoroughly enjoyed our conversation, Courtney. And now I want you to tell us how we can stay in contact with you. Tell us about some of your products. And I don't know if you have some more you can show us, but just kind of
Yeah.
tell us what you got going on and
So
if there's
right now we have 3 collections out. We have the Nourishing Baby. This is for, like, newborns.
oh,
Can you
okay.
see 'em? Newborns and up. This is my baby. This was my first collection that I came out with over 4 years ago. So
Mhm,
crazy. And then the second collection is the Nourish and Grow.
mhm,
So this is for, like, stagnant hair growth, if your child is experiencing any hair loss, like from cradle cap, they
mhm,
can start using this at about 6 months. And then we have our third collection, which is the Curl Enhancing collection, and
mm.
this is for children who have curly hair, even wavy hair.
Mhm.
And, for 2025, I've had so many moms that's like, "Oh my god, I'm using my baby's products. Can you come out with an adult line?" So I'm coming out with a Mommy and Me collection.
Ooh,
Yes, super, super, super excited about that because I use Christina's curls faithfully, okay?
the hair looks good. I love
My
it.
hair is colored and it's just yes. And I'm also coming out with a collection for locks, twists, and braids.
Okay.
Because my son, he has locks and I've been making products for him. And I'm like, you know what? So that's gonna release on Juneteenth.
Oh, that'd be perfect. Oh my
Yes.
goodness.
So we have a lot of great things in store. God has been so good
Mhm.
with my business and just putting the right people in my path.
Mhm.
to scale and take our business to the next level. So I'm so grateful. I'm so thankful for
That's
this
awesome.
journey.
Yeah, and you make all your products by hand, right?
Yes, well, I do have a manufacturing company now, but I formulate my husband and I, my husband's a chemist.
Oh, okay.
So this was like destined, okay? Um,
Absolutely.
my husband is a chemist, so we formulate all of the formulas ourselves. We have them third party tested,
Okay.
to make sure it's up to par, have a
Mhm.
certification for that. And then we have our manufacturing company
Wow.
helping us now because I can't do it all by myself now.
Right, right. You gotta have that balance.
That.
Wow. Well, congratulations. And, how can we follow you on social media? Are
Yeah,
there any Christmas sales or New Year's sales or anything coming up that you want to
we
share?
always have a sale, and whenever you sign up with the emails, you automatically get 15% off.
Okay.
And you can follow us on Christina's Curls _ on IG. And you can follow my personal page at Miss Courtney M. Smith on Instagram. And our website is www.christinascurls.com.
Wow. Now, is Christina spelled with a C or a K?
CRI. I know it's different. We have to do stuff different.
It's okay. That's why I want to make sure everybody knows.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, it is. And you can also find us on Amazon and Bye Bye Baby
Oh,
as well.
wow.
Yes.
Okay. Well, Courtney Smith said she's not playing. She said
Not playing.
2025 that Christina's curls are going to be flourishing and popping, and
Yes,
new product lines are coming out. And like she said, if you sign up for the mailing list, you will get a 15% off coupon. So we all like discounts. So thank you
absolutely.
so much, Courtney, for coming on, sharing your beautiful hair, your smile, and
Mhm.
your wonderful product and your testimony. And I wish you and Christina Curls a happy new year, a prosperous new year. And I just, look forward to seeing more of your products.
Thank you, and thank you so much for having me. I truly appreciate it.
Absolutely. So, everyone, I hope you enjoyed today's chat with Public Speaking in Business with Courtney Smith. And if you've missed any of the conversations I've had this year, then you need to go ahead and check it out. But I probably won't see you all before the new year. So, Happy New Year in advance and look forward to more great episodes of Public Speaking in Business in the future. All right. Thank you. Bye bye, Courtney.
Bye-bye.